Hi guys. Looks like the day has finally arrived and House of the Dragon Season 2 is beginning. So today I'm going to be reacting to Season 2, Episode 1, A Son for a Son. Wonder what that could be about? So yeah, let's just get into it. Interesting new credits. They seem to pretty obviously reference that prophecy that Helena said in season 1 about like hand weaving loom or something. I assume that's where they got this from, but it's very cool. This music sounds very Stark-like.
It eclipses all things, even blood.
Yeah, it is.
All men of honor must pay its price.
The Conqueror and the King in the North.
You, at least, had the mercy not to threaten me with your dragon.
Facts. Tell him, Cregan.
Surely the great Torrhen Stark would have sooner died than bent the knee. Unless he believed the Conqueror could bring unity to the Seven Kingdoms.
You are right in that.
That unity is now threatened. Whilst your men guard against wildlings and weather, the High Towers plan to usurp the throne.
Oh, rude.
My mother is to defend her claim.
She was a fool to go alone. What if Aemond were to happen upon her?
Then I would pity Aemond.
Come on.
The Queen was wise to recuse herself.
If you'd have acted when you had the chance, one's line would be extinguished, and Luke would be alive.
Yeah, sorry she didn't result to immediately kinslaying, like, half of her family for your convenience.
It is a command.
Would that you were the king.
Burn.
I must have my ship back at sea to lead the effort.
It'll be many weeks yet. And where'd you?
Oh, that's Alan of Hull. Fun. Oh, right, and he was on Raised by Wolves, which is fantastic if you haven't seen it. I'm still devastated that HBO canceled it. I guess they're lucky that her wings look like Swiss cheese. Makes her easy to identify.
Where is Jaehaerys?
Attending his lessons.
And those aware? He'll be king one day. He must begin his instruction. The Queen is an enduring mystery. Is she not?
Oh my god. I was not expecting that. Jesus Christ. I mean, you know, good for them. But still, good God.
Yep. Thank you, my prince. That's very helpful. My nephew, Lord Ormond,
Oh my God.
musters his forces to sally forth from Old.
Perhaps your grace might lend his voice to our outreach.
Stop! Enough!
In hopes that new terms might be negotiated.
Once. Would someone please?
Is the heir to the throne bothering you, Tyland?
No. No, not in the least, Your Grace.
Because I think he wants a ride.
Your grace.
A ride?
A pony ride. Wouldn't that be fun,
Oh my
Jaehaerys?
God.
Should the Master of Coin be your royal steed?
Rhaenyra has dragons as well.
Mine are bigger.
If we loose the dragons to war, there'll be no calling them back.
And how might your king be of service?
'Tis my flock. I'd had the time to plan.
We should
perhaps.
return them.
Your Grace?
You need your goats for the winter.
Right. Perhaps we could just return his sheep. He came all this way.
If you return one herd of sheep, Your Grace, you'll soon find them all at the foot of your throne expecting the same.
They won't know.
When the king speaks, Your Grace, all hear it.
Peace and war threatening.
That treasonous blockade won't last long. I plan to send Vagar to burn it to ash. Bring the next.
Hugh, Your Grace.
The Smiths are all proud
Sneaky
to support
MFer.
Your Grace against Rhaenyra.
Our victory depends on the efforts of the small folk.
Ron, I was only a boy when Jaehaerys last graced the seat, but you brought forth memories of him, and he was such a deft touch with the small folk, just as your father did.
Thank you, my lord.
Viserys had a certain reputation as being
Ooh,
pliable.
you
I am aware.
sneaky sneak.
I would think, as we find ourselves standing within a hair's breadth of war, that you would wish to be viewed differently.
In the Riverlands.
Your Grace, my lord.
These candles have very large flames.
Moves into place. All seaborne travel and trade to King's Landing will soon be cut off.
And Lord Kraken Stark has promised 2,000 men.
Slay, Harry.
You're to find and slay the Prince Aemon Targaryen. He has silver hair and one eye. Should be easy enough to find.
Oh, he put his hand on his shoulder. That's so cute.
I just don't know my way around.
Show me.
No! I cannot believe that asshole.
This way.
I mean, maybe it's not that hard to believe, but still, that was so unnecessary.
Rats. Who the fuck is she?
She's the queen, she is.
A son for a son, he said. Or does she look like a fucking son to you?
Over there.
We need to get our head and get out. They both look the same.
The mother knows.
Do anything but what I ask, and I'll bleed the whole lot of you.
I have a necklace. It's of great value.
That's not a son. It's the other one. She's not going to give up the king's heir that easy.
No. She's telling true.
Helena! What's happened?
They killed the boy.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. So that was that. Okay. Honestly, obviously, I knew that was coming. I expected it to be a little worse, although, to be honest, I also kind of wondered how they were going to handle that, since you obviously can't show that on TV or in movies or whatever. The person who did the sound effects did a really effective job in communicating what was happening, even though without, you know, making it too overt. That's very... I mean, it's obvious if the war hadn't started before, it's certainly started now. I thought that, obviously, there was a lot of heartbreak this episode. And I thought the actors all did a really effective job in portraying what they had to portray. I think Fia Saban did a very good job, since, you know, that scene basically entirely has to play off of her performance and her face and her reaction. I think she communicated what she needed to very effectively. I thought the same for Emma. Harry really impressed me with his performance in this episode. I thought he really gave a gravity to Jace's reactions that I don't think Jace really had as a character in season 1. Maybe the time jump, you know, maybe the long gap in between seasons really helped him develop as an actor, because he really slayed that. I thought, obviously they made Jaehaerys super duper cute and gave him a nice little intro into the series before it was a wrap, before he exited stage left. Alicent's relationship with Kristen certainly came as a shock. Not that it like happened ever, but I certainly wasn't expecting them to go from 0 to 100 in the way that they did. And I'm not sure how well that worked. I mean, I'm not like unhappy that it happened, but I think it was just it was a very abrupt shift. I know that I read before the start of the season that a lot of people pointed out Tom Glencarney as like a standout, and I can already see what they mean by his performance, because despite the fact that Aegon is a nightmare, he's already a lot more likable in this season than he was last season. I'm very interested to see how he plays it in the next episode. And yeah, although I've been, again, sort of like just a little bit unsure of the whole, like, how many things in this war are driven by accidents. I thought that the build up to the blood and cheese moment was definitely very interesting. I think that obviously, based on the implication, Daemon was okay with whatever happened, but I think obviously he probably wasn't planning on his assassins killing a baby instead of killing Aemond. And the same goes for Mysaria and for Blood and Cheese. Like, it's interesting to see the way in which all of that came together and how much of it was kind of coincidental or just happened because of circumstance and nothing more. I can't believe they kicked a dog. That was heartbreaking. And yeah, it'll obviously be interesting to see how this affects the storyline going forward. Like, when Luke died in the end of season 1, that was really kind of setting off a bomb for the Blacks in terms of really intensifying their investment in this war. It escalated a war of letters and ravens to an actual war. And I think that obviously there's going to be an element of sunk cost fallacy, in the sense that now that Rhaenyra has lost a child in service of getting the throne, she is not going to give up easily. I think obviously the exact same thing is going to happen for the Greens now, because the death of Jaehaerys is really setting off a bomb in their camp, and Aegon, Aemond, the Hightowers, none of them are going to take the murder of a child, a baby child, on the chin. They're never going to stop or surrender or, you know, come to an agreement in the way that they might have if there hadn't been a son for a son, which obviously comes back to the title of the episode, which was very appropriate. So yeah, and it's not necessarily a complaint, but like I really wish the episode hadn't ended then. Obviously that is the entire intention, to leave it on a cliffhanger so everyone is desperate to find out what happens next, but I really wish that there had been some other reaction beyond Helena knowing and Alicent figuring out what just happened. So that is a wrap on that. That is a wrap on Season 2, Episode 1, A Son for a Son. Definitely a strong opener for Season 2, and I was already bummed that it was only going to be 8 episodes, but now I'm even more bummed that we're only going to have 8 episodes, or now we only have 7 episodes left. I think it was a pretty tight introduction to the entire world of this war, and obviously incorporated the most impactful twist in Fire and Blood, and arguably in the entire world of Ice and Fire. I know a lot of people, including myself, think that the death of Jaehaerys was really like a shocking moment even for George R.R. Martin. So yeah, that's about all I have on that. If you're interested in more content like this, if you want to follow along with the rest of Season 2 with me, like and subscribe.